Greetings Internet, Didier here with another local match video between myself. This is actually the finals match between myself and Dan at Portal Comics and Gaming. So got another special guest commentator here from Team Eevee. Mike, how you doing, bro?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Alright, so we're gonna have some fun here, some fun with Black Trunks against Blue Yamcha. What do you think is gonna happen in this match, Mike?
I gotta cheer for Trunks just because he's my teammate. I think Yamcha has a really strong personality. I'm not a fan of the old Blue Mastery, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, you don't like the old Blue Master.
Nah, I don't. I think I don't really like either of the Blue Masteries, to be honest with you, but Blue is a really good card pool, so
Yeah.
anything can happen with it.
Dan's going to start out here first. He's actually going to draw, and I think, yeah, he's going to enter combat. Wow,
Enter.
impressive
That's
Trunks.
really strange for a Yamcha to do.
Yeah, especially since I get to look at the top four. So I think I'm going to just drop my Tree of Might on the top. Looks like I got a Black Reflection in my hand, Finger Block, something else. What's
I'm
that?
having trouble seeing what he has, but I'm hoping he has time or something to weather the storm.
Yeah, he's going to start off with his power, and I'm going to respond with a Confrontation. So we got Optic Blast. What's that new blue card? I know it's pretty good.
That one's from the set before, isn't it? No, that is the newest one. I don't know what it does. He
I
shuffled
know.
it back in.
Yeah, it's an energy for 5 and gets rid of drills. I think
Okay.
because I have the reflection in my hand, I kind of want to bait him out, let him use the optic blast so I can reflection it right back. So I'm going to choose that energy attack. Hopefully he responds with the... Because I can actually mastery still.
So he opened with his power, right? And you just took the damage?
Yeah.
Okay.
So my next physical attack is blocked. I know that. He does have a shifting maneuver in his hand, though. So he's actually going to pass, and I'm just going to respond with the mastery, and he's going to discard the optic blast. Really
That's
good play.
really interesting. Yeah, how did he know that?
I'm not sure. He had the foresight, man. So I'm actually going to go right now. I can't really see what's in my hand.
Do you remember this game well or not so much?
That was a few days ago.
Okay. So you should remember hand for hand still.
Oh, you know what? I do remember this hand. This is the double heroic punch hand, isn't it? Yeah. I
How
have
do you
two.
feel about Heroic Punch so far? You like it?
I love it, especially in this. When it does 6 and 1, you can't go wrong. 6 and 1 and skip. Yep, so I'm going to enter combat using my Trunks power. Going to banish the Optic Blast. Hey, it's banished. It was banished anyway. So it looks like Dan's going to actually draw 2 unusable cards and an energy attack. So starting off with the Dashing Punch. Going to make him skip. Remove all damage for the rest of the combat. Possibly shut him out of anger. Not that that's really relevant in Blue Yamcha.
No, I'm assuming he's going to try and dominance up, right?
Yeah, I think this is a dominance deck. I don't think it needs the dominance, but it definitely uses it.
I think his level 1 powers. I mean, Yamcha, every power is as good as the one before, so.
Yep, so following up, he skips, so following up with the other heroic dashing punch. This is great. I'm not sure whether it's good to draw them now and use it now. He's going to respond with his blue protective mastery there. Discarding an energy attack to stop the physical.
He's down to 1 stage right now.
Yep, doing the the dashing sword attack, considering he passed again. And oh, I get a 2. Oh, 2 mil, 1 mil for the Yamcha's rescue. How lucky is that?
That's a strong mill right there.
I don't think I had a sword card in my discard pile to tutor, so...
He's really wishing he took life card of damage before that mill happened, so he could have just gotten out of this mess.
Yeah, so he did finally shoot off Yamcha's power on me, but I think the Black Reflection for Optic Blast might be not what he expected. So it's going to banish the damage. So, oh, there goes Time as a Warrior's Tool. So actually, 2 Yamcha's rescues have already hit the field very early.
He didn't hit much endurance on that either.
No. So going to end the combat, do a lot of damage, manage to...
That was a really strong combat for Trunks. Trunks has got to keep the pressure on in this matchup and try and just keep his stages down and keep him drawing into some of his setups.
Yeah, he only does have 2 PURs, so...
Yeah, but at the same time, his power is a free energy attack, so you could look at it as his PR almost being 4 at that point. If you take someone like Trunks who has a 3 PR, but they lose 2 stages for their... Or I mean Krillin, 2 stages for their energy attack.
Right. So yeah, it looks
Yamcha
like
ends up.
Dan did actually keep a precarious defense in his hand last turn, so that's going to be a great target for the heroic plan.
Look at the hand he's drawing into now.
Wow. Yamcha's rescue and 2 neck beams. Too bad I haven't gained any levels yet. So he's actually going to enter on me. Yamcha entering on Trunks over and over
With
again.
4 stages. So I'm assuming he'll enter with his power, right?
He's confident. He's confident. Really not a good draw here by Trunks. I mean, drawing 2 non-combats. A declaration will let me use my mastery.
That's the one thing about the old Black Mastery. It's so strong because even with a bad hand, you can minimize damage by forcing them to lose one of their cards.
Exactly, and that's one of the main reasons why I can't find myself playing the Perceptive Mastery. So obviously starting off with his power here just to ensure that I can't use the refusal to stage lock him. But I'm just going to use my Mastery so I can banish some cards. Banish, hey, you got 2 rescues in the...
That's awesome. Yeah, you're off to a good start.
Discarding the Precarious Defense. So he has a block, he has Yamcha's effect still active.
And get that mental drill out of play.
Yeah, I think I might do that. I do have the refusal in my hand. So gonna do the neck beam. Just, for damages. Why not? 4 damages. Now, I'm not sure whether or not this was a good play. I mean, he's by him entering on me like this. Granted, I did draw into a bad hand, but I'm gonna get to use the plan to tutor out anything that I want. So I just shot off the teamwork to see if I could hit bypassing his power, but he just used the rescue to shuffle it into his life deck. A little sad here because I only play 1 teamwork, and it is banished after use, so that was my one shot, my one attempt there at getting a little bit of damage in this combat, but didn't work out.
But you got the rescue back into his deck, which is going to let you go ahead and searching maneuver it next
That's true.
combat.
Yep, I do have that in my hand right now. I also could plan searching technique in play as well.
Searching technique, sorry.
So another 4 damage. So it looks like Dan actually entered combat for a nice clean 6 damage on me.
Yeah, it's not really what he was hoping for, I'm sure.
Yeah, but gonna refusal here. Obviously discarding the Black Declaration because there's no reason to use Black Declaration as it shuffles into their life deck. Why not put it in their discard pile instead? Gonna plan. Wonder what I'm gonna go for here. I, of course, have many options. Actually, I do remember this because there's a misplay coming up because we talked about this afterwards. I'm going to play this aggressive sword drill and not really think about the fact that he just did activate 2 neck beam effects. So potentially at the end of combat,
He
could have
level
raised
you.
and lowered me.
Oh, wow, because, yeah, he could do one and the other. Does he not think of that?
No, I don't. I think we both kind of missed it. As you'll see here, we'll both just pass. And then, yeah, I think right now he's confused whether or not that's in my hand. But yeah, yep, so we'll both just pass. We both kind of missed those effects there, but I am on level 1, so. So got, I can't see what's in my hand right now. It looks like choke, swipe.
So the sword's going to have everything do +1 stage, and then they mill one when you play a card with sword in its hand?
No, so the sword drill allows me to get a sword card when entering combat, which I'm doing now. I'm getting a Trunks Stance. And then it makes my named attacks unpreventable. But
alright. What drill was I thinking of?
I'm not sure. So using my level 1 power here, rearranging, making sure I know what's on the top for the stance. And the main reason I entered here, of course, is because he has no hand, he's stage locked, and I'm going to get up to my level 2 and be able to look and choose his hand. That's the main reason why I'm entering. So for the remainder of the game, I'm just going to be able to keep strong pressure on, me being in the E bracket, as well as being able to see the cards that he's drawing.
Especially if even if he had a card in hand and you couldn't look at his top cards, you want to enter on a energy deck that has no stages.
It's true. So it looks like a blue crouch, blue lunge. Wow, this is a really strong hand for him. Blue Crouch, Blue Lunge. I can't see what the other card... Looks like a Head Knock? Really, really strong top for him right now. Looks like I have a Choke, an Enraged Assault, and a Swipe in my hand. I also have a pretty strong hand myself. So I do have the Swipe to respond to his own energy attack, if that's going to be his only action. I'm really contemplating over this, because I think, yeah, he has a Blue Betrayal also. So Blue Betrayal, got a Blue Crouch, Blue Lunge. Can't see what the other card is.
You're really having a tough time
Really
deciding
tough.
here.
I think the problem is I don't want to give him the physical block, but I also don't want to give him the Blue Lunge. Because the Blue Lunge will hit me for 5 and then possibly get him a non-combat in play. So ultimately, I decide to give him actually the physical block. Oh, you know what? It's arm blast. That's right. So he has
Oh,
2
okay.
physical blocks in his hand right now.
So you're just kind of accepting the fact that you're not really going to do any damage this combat.
Yeah, I think that's what I did here. I just said, okay, no reason to attack him. Just going to enter, searching technique, get rid of the last Yamcha. I think I was going for time here, but I had banished it in my first attack with Dashing Punch.
So what's your... Did he run the Yamcha setup?
Oh, yeah, definitely he runs the Yamcha setup. So what's going to be... I did stop on Terror there, just, you know, as a really strong card to pick out here.
Yeah, but his deck's already picked apart with you taking time out and all his rescues, so Terror's not that strong at this point.
Yeah,
I'd
Terror...
rather see you get rid of, like, a Betrayal or something.
Thing I got, yeah, I went for the lunge just because I don't want him getting a board set up, and also it has 2 endurance, so I am
Yeah,
effectively
that's a good call.
endurance from his deck. There, it might have been better for me to go for a crouch or a narrow escape, some other block, especially in a blue deck. So the other card was actually Positioning Drill, so that's the other card he has in his...
So we kind of know how this combat's going to play out. You're going to...
Swipe his power.
Yeah. Really nothing's going to happen.
And then he's going to pass, and then I'm going to pass as well.
That
I'm
was
not
terrible.
going to send any of those attacks at him.
Now, did you
Yep.
remember to banish a card from his discard pile when you entered?
Yeah, he has no discard pile right now, so... I think
When you entered that combat, he had no discard pile?
No, I think he did banish for my 1. I'm not sure if I banished for my 2, but it's okay. Great draw here by
There's
him.
the dominance.
Yeah, dominance and positioning drill.
And head knock he puts at the bottom.
Yep, rejuvenate the head knock. Looks like I kept choke in my hand.
You know what? You mentioned Yamcha's 2 power up. That's really hurting Yamcha right now.
Absolutely, yeah. Really, really strong draw here by myself with Trunks. Another sword drill to put into play, and the visiting the past.
I haven't gotten a chance to really see his deck when you were searching, but in an energy deck, you've got to run. What ball is it? Ball 5 that
Ball
adds to your
6.
power up. Ball 6 adds up to
Yeah.
your power up. And I don't think he has it. And I don't think he has Kami either, which gives you the ability to find it.
Yeah. And a blue deck, running a single ally wouldn't be a bad idea. Got a pretty strong hand over there. Definitely going to probably enter combat with the swordplay drill, as well as seeing his top 4. Looks like I got a sword slash, a swipe. Can't see what else.
Yeah, you can see your hand a lot better than I can. I'm having more trouble making out your hand than his.
Yeah. That comes from years of YouTube camera experience, knowing to hold my hand.
And years of playing Trunks.
Looking at my discard pile right now, contemplating whether or not I want to use Visiting the Past when entering combat. I do see a stance in my discard pile, so I could jump up to 3 right now. Also, of course, I could just jump up to 3 if... Oh no, because I don't have the stance in my life deck, right. Because I only play 2. I used 1 earlier, and 1's in my discard pile. Got a Devious. That's another card in my hand. He's holding a Narrow Escape right now.
But you don't know that.
No. So one of the things with one of the disadvantages with Trunks is you have like 9 effects that go off when entering combat. You really need to think about what you're doing.
Yeah.
So always and forever, usually the right answer is to use aggressive sword drill first. You always want to just shoot that off and then be able to actually search it out and then use any of your powers to see cards or whatnot. So it looks like I'm going to get the Empowered Sword Slash just because I know it'll bypass his power and give me some card advantage. It's a sad day that he has that Narrow Escape in his hand. Dan getting anxious here. He always wants to banish that card before I look. Gotta go in order of
Doesn't
effects,
he?
people.
Don't you get to choose the card with your level 2 power?
I do. He was asking me there. Looks like his top is Blue Betrayal, Pesky Barrage, uh, uh, Key Buildup, and Yamcha's Assistance, Expert Assistance. Actually, I think that was a misplay by me there because I shouldn't have given him the Expert Assistance. So gonna do the Visiting the Past for the refusal. Great play here because I'm going to be able to pitch the sword drill and kill 2 of those non-combats in play. I think that's probably the main reason why I'm entering right now.
Well, you've got to get his expert assistance out of play.
Yeah, I mean, and everything else. So he's actually choosing not to dominance.
Yeah, I can't believe he didn't dominance there. He needs his stages.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as
You know,
well.
he's probably not expecting you to be able to get rid of
The expert
the
assistant.
expert assistance. So
Yeah.
he's like, all dominance on my terms.
So actually going to kill the dominance and expert
Yeah,
assistance.
it's
I
really
just don't
strong.
even want to use him to use it. Taking it, going straight to 0, taking some damage. Yeah, I should have given him the Pesky Barrage instead of the Expert Assistance, and this would have been a much better combat for me.
Yeah,
He can
because he can
actually
just play it
play.
right back down. Yeah. And the pesky barrage, he's gonna hold on to it. He can't use it until he has 4 stages to play with.
Yeah, so looks like Dan shot off Yamcha's power, immediately responded with the black swipe to block it. Don't want to deal with that being stopped. Oh, here comes big bad sword slash. Lots and lots of damage coming at him right now. Oh, I guess another point to not give him Pesky Barrage would be it would be Mastery Fodder because he could discard it with his Mastery. So actually that would be a good reason
True.
to not give.
Okay.
So right here, he's actually forced to discard the Narrow Escape that's in his hand to Mastery to stop that, 11 damage that was coming at him. Gonna play Expert Assistance from his hand, potentially allowing him to end combat. Good, great card, great name card.
Do you think he didn't want a dominance because he felt that his level 1 power is stronger against you in this matchup?
I think that's definitely one of the reasons because it really is strong against this deck. I play a low number of blocks and it doesn't have that much hand advantage. So, I mean, if you're taking out one of my attacks at combat, it's really going to hurt.
Yeah.
So actually hitting and connecting with the Empowered Sword Slash, so I'm going to be able to take a card and put it to the top of his life deck. Blue Betrayal.
He didn't like that you put it facing the wrong way. It's very rude of you.
So actually, I really killed it for him because he doesn't want an Expert Assistance now because he knows he's going to draw a useless Betrayal. Even with, the threat of whatever that last card in my hand is.
Yeah, I mean, you only have 1 card at this point, so it's not a combat he needs to get out of anymore.
Yep, so combat's over, and he's going to start back up again. Got a Pesky Barrage, Crushing Beam. Boy, I'm
And 2
betting
stages.
Yeah, I'm betting he was wishing he dominance now. Man. I mean, Crushing Beam is just a great card, but it's so taxing.
Yeah, you know what? I had to cut back on my crushing beam counts just because 3 stages is too expensive in a format that's definitely going to be more physical heavy than it has ever been.
Yeah, so definitely going to enter combat, keeping the pressure on him. Got a shifting maneuver.
You're fine just hanging at level 2. I like that you're looking at his hand every time.
Yeah, got a neck beam. So I think I'm just going to keep it in the order. Oh, no. That's right. I don't want to give him neck beam. What are you
Yeah, that's a physical block.
Yeah, and 4 stages. He only has 2 stages. Definitely want to keep him low. So I do have a Black Reflection in my hand, and this is just card is going to be great at this point in the game. Removing the what is that? What drill is that? It adds +1
That
life.
adds one stage or one life card?
One life.
Okay.
Got an
It
optic
has some
straight.
other effect, like whenever you lower their anger and they're at 0 or something like that, or
It's whenever they block one of your attacks.
you
No,
can
whenever they block one of your attacks, they lower their anger 1.
they lower your anger.
Mm-hmm. So gonna draw here. Lots of energy attacks. A crushing beam, optic blast. What's that last card in his hand? So he has 1 block. Oh, I think he has pesky barrage. That's right. So I'm gonna start off with black reflection
Okay.
here. Wonder what I'm gonna go for.
I didn't see the reflection. I was wondering why you were searching his banish then.
Maybe some blue lunge action. Oh yeah, gotta love doing blue lunge with a black deck. Wonder what I'm gonna pick. What do we got? Some choices. Look, got a visiting and a searching technique. Going aggressive here with the searching technique. Just wanting to pick apart his deck.
Yeah, and you take it's a mill too. Even 2 cards of your choice banished.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a great catch off of the.
Yeah, and you can see how strong black reflection is because pretty much you always get card advantage from it. It's always you're using a card, and then usually you can get another card with it. So he's contemplating whether or not he wants to use the shifting maneuver. Oh no, he's actually going to use his mastery here. So using his mastery, positioning drill, putting the narrow escape back into the top of his life deck. So he has 2 stages. He could use those 2 stages, or he could try to shoot off his power, or he could expert assistance. Expert assistance might not actually be a bad play right now.
He has the ability to block a lot of attacks.
Yeah. So he's
Even
going to
with
use
you
the 2
somewhat controlling
stages.
his hand.
Just shooting off the energy blocks. I'm actually doing really well here, being able to draw my swipes.
Now, how many energy blocks do you run in that deck?
3.
That's it, just the swipes?
3 swipes.
Wow, it seems like you've played 6 of them so far.
Gonna respond with the black searching technique here. Not really sure why I'm doing black searching technique at this point. I don't know what's in my hand. 2 head knocks. Just trying to take away the damage that he has. And those are, those 5 life cards for a no stage cost plus 2 endurance. So
His deck's getting really low. You still have to have probably like 25 cards in yours, would you say? 30 maybe?
yeah. Oh, looks like actually I'm going back on my choice here, and as a good local tournament player, he's letting me take back my decision.
Team EV's big advocates of playing friendly, guys.
It's what we try to do. Oh, I know why I did that. Because I had the scout maneuver in my hand. I wanted to scope his deck and know what to name. So that's why I changed my decision here, because I saw he had 3 head knocks left in his deck. So I wanted to scout the head.
You are a cheater. That was just downright spiteful of you.
Well, it was a really good play, honestly.
The second time around.
Yeah, after I took back my first decision. And that's really what I aim to be. I aim to be a good player the second time, not the first time.
See, now I always thought you aimed to be a good player in playtesting and then just suck when we go to tournaments.
That's my track record. That's not what I aim to do.
I'm hoping you reverse that for this year.
All right, looks like he's actually going to enter on me. So he's going to draw and enter. Hey, he wants to use those stages, man.
Yeah, he's got 2 of them now. You better use them before you beat them off.
So draw my 3. Got a chin kick. He's got a... What has he got in his hand? I know he has a blue crouch in his hand. Neck beam, pesky barrage. Starting off with his power. Oh no, he has a shifting maneuver. So I'm going to respond with the time, just nullifying his damage.
Ooh. And he regrets entering again.
Oh, I think he entered because he has the neck beam in his hand. That's why he entered, because he really wants to use it for his mastery and gain some stages. So I have another scout maneuver in my hand. So I'm trying to search right now for an actual target for scout maneuver. My one friend always tells me, my one friend's a red player, and he always tells me, scout maneuver is the reason that I'll never play black style.
Because you have to think so much.
Yeah. And it's
See, now, I don't know if I'm going to regret saying this, but I think black players play scout maneuver absolutely wrong.
Why is that?
I think you should be naming their blocks.
Yeah.
you go in and you name. If you're a physical beat deck, you play 2 scout maneuvers. You can probably get all their physical blocks out of their deck,
So,
or vice versa with energy blocks.
yeah, so gonna shoot off Chin Kick here, and obviously gonna respond with his Mastery, Blue Neck Beam to stop, gain 4 stages, putting him at
Wow,
actual
6.
6
That's the
stages.
highest he's been all day.
Yeah.
You're in
Really,
trouble
really
now.
good
You
play
better
for
look
him.
out.
Quite possibly, I should have maybe originally had Black Searching Techniqued his Neck Beams out of his deck to try to further stage lock him.
It's interesting, this blue Yamcha, because it can weather the storm clearly, but its damage output is just so low.
Yeah. I actually scout maneuvered his betrayal there, which that was just because I saw him actually put one in back into his deck. I knew there was one already in there, so just to do 2 damage and maximize the damage potential. But later on, Dan and I talked about it, and we thought that was probably a big misplay on my part as well. I should have probably named something like Narrow Escape or some other a block, like you said.
Yeah.
So doing a life deck
Deck
count here. I think he's got about 12 cards left. 12 cards. I think
Now, you really need to get that expert assistance out of play, just because it gives him a lot of control over combats.
Yeah, I do have a Black Discovery in my hand, so I think I'm contemplating whether or not I want to level. So I'm going to at least play it down. I got an Empowered Sword Slash. I'll Dig Your Grave. Going to keep the Empowered Sword Slash. Rejuvenate. I'll Dig Your Grave.
And discard another dig.
Lots and lots of blocks over there. Got Sphere, Narrow Escape.
Hey, he does run Sphere. I didn't think he did. I was wondering, because I was going to ask you earlier if Sphere makes you afraid to run Reflection.
It does a little bit, to be honest with you. Every time I play Reflection, I get really scared that they're going to Sphere it.
But then again, it's nice to open with a Reflection, waste their Sphere, and then you can use your time.
True.
So, I guess it's give and take.
So he's going to actually enter on me. And, I think Yamcha has entered on me more times than I've entered on him in this game.
It's really strange. Pesky Barrage is just such an amazing card.
Yeah, it really is. A lot of personality. He's got a big power boost with that card this set. So gonna Black Discovery. I know he has a smaller life deck than I do, so just really trying to seal this game. But, his hand right now, the amount of blocks he has in his hand is menacing, and he has Terror in his hand as well. See, man, I should have went for the Terror. That first Black Scout, the first Black Searching technique, I should have gotten
done it.
Terror.
What is he going to pull with it, though?
Anything he wants. Gonna start off with Assistance, draw a card, and make me pass twice. Drawing a Crouch with the Assistance. Man, talk about shut down combat. This is probably the final combat, considering he has 2 blue key buildups in play.
Yeah, they've been sitting there for a while. We kind of just forgot about them over there.
Yeah.
Well, he's never had stages to pay for them.
Yeah, but he does now. So it looks like my hand, Powered Sword Slash, Choke, got a...
Right now, it looks like he's just putting his whole deck into his hand.
He might want to do...
That was shady right there. You might want to go back and look at that again.
I don't think so. He's got like a 9-card hand right now, so I don't think he needed to do that. So taking the 3 life cards, just... I think did I pass there? I think I did pass.
No, you had to pass because of expert
Oh, yeah,
assistance.
Expert Assistance, right, correct. Yep, so... Passing again, I think that's the final pass. Looks like I only have about 6 life cards left.
Yeah, things turned around quickly. It seemed like you were controlling the whole game, but your deck's thinned out quickly also.
Yeah.
I mean, did you really take any damage from attacks?
He's been hitting me with his power almost every combat.
Just little chip shots for like 3 life cards here and there?
Yeah.
2?
Right now, I'm looking for something in my discard pile to save me. My level 3 power. I do get to put a card back into my life deck with my level 3 power, so...
What is the level 3 power exactly?
Search your discard pile for an... Well, first you place a card from your hand either onto the top or the bottom of your life deck, and then you search your discard pile for an attack card. Put it to your hand, and then your opponent skips his next attack phase. So you then can immediately play the attack or play something else from your hand. Right now, it looks like I'm trying to figure out what he has in his hand. I don't really think that I'm going to be able to pull this out, guys. I don't.
Yeah, it's looking ugly. He's got a really strong hand.
Yeah, 4 stages. He's got his power. He's got blue crouch. He has 2 physical blocks, an energy block, and his mastery.
And you used your only 3 energy blocks in your deck.
Yeah. If he had enough cards in play to make Choke unstoppable, this game would be over right now, but he doesn't, So gonna use my power, place a card to the top. What am I gonna grab here? Oh, I'm actually gonna grab Black Swirl, which is probably my best play. I could name. I know he has a blue shifting maneuver, so here I'm actually gonna name blue shifting maneuver. So it was a good call by me to, not lock that 1 block out of his hand, but he's just gonna narrow escape it, put 2 more cards back into his life deck.
Yeah, it's gonna be too little, too late for you.
Yeah. So he's still got his power, which I think he's gonna shoot off right now.
So have you added more energy blocks to your deck since this game?
Nope. Still running.
See, I think that's the fault of a lot of the physical beat decks. They just cut. Oh, I stage lock, so I can cut back on my energy blocks. I think you still have to run them.
I don't just rely on that. So gonna do an empowered sword slash, really hoping here, but still has the mastery to respond with. Just a wall of blocks. Cannot overcome this with positioning drill. I tried to maybe take out the last attack in his hand with that empowered sword slash, but quite possibly.
Still got the key build up sitting there.
Yeah, quite possibly another play would be to name the energy attack I know he has in his hand, which is this one. It's actually quite strong. It only does 4 life cards, but it's unpreventable, so I have to take just the straight 4. I have 2 cards left in my life deck.
Did you hit any endurance there? Did you say?
It's unpreventable.
But would you have been able to prevent any of it? It didn't look like you hit endurance.
Not sure, yeah. Gonna respond with a dashing sword attack, so it's gonna lower him out of range to use the last key buildup he has in play. So it's gonna be stopped by his power. So he has no more attacks in his hand. And he has that unusable shifting maneuver.
But how many cards are in your deck?
Looks like 2.
2. And he entered on you.
Yes. So it looks like he has about 7 cards in his life deck. So gonna do a choke. Unpreventable. Hey, Hail Mary, YOLO swag money.
And he's got...
And so close. Too bad. Positioning drill saved it for him.
2. Yeah, the positioning put him back on top. And the narrow escape, right? Had you named the narrow escape, you would have been all right.
He put about 5 cards back on the top of his life deck in that combat alone.
You probably could have figured out that he had that narrow escape in his hand also.
Yeah.
And named that with Swirl instead, which would have given you the game.
Quite possibly, yeah. He would have had to... Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of different things that could have happened there.
Now, how do you feel about this matchup? Do you think if you played this game best out of 3, would you win most of the time, you think?
Honestly, I think if I play this matchup again, I would be better because I feel like I made a few misplays in this game. But
ones that didn't really seem like misplays at the time.
Yeah.
It seemed like you really had control of the game for the first 2/3 of it, I would say.
Yeah. Good game, guys. I mean, I feel this would be kind of a 50-50 matchup for Trunks. It's pretty... honestly, I think Yamcha has the advantage in this matchup with the physical block and the block from the mastery.
Yeah.
Yeah, but great game, both players. And Dan takes the finals of Portal Comics and Gaming.